Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my podcast where I talk about what I'm listening to, what I'm reading, what I'm watching, everything that's happening over the past 2 weeks, I guess, because I didn't film an episode of this last week. I sat down last Monday to sit and film an episode, and nothing had gone on, and I hadn't listened or watched to anything that I liked, really, at all. And I didn't even know what to talk about. So anyways, this is my little podcast. Why am I afraid to call it a podcast? For some reason, I'm just afraid to call it a podcast because maybe that's kind of a big step. Not a big step, but it's just kind of a step to make a podcast. It's kind of what it is though. It actually is kind of a podcast. But anyways, this is the little podcast where I talk about things that I've done, things that I've consumed as far as entertainment stuff for the most part. So we're gonna go ahead and get right into this, starting off with something that just happened as of time recording this, the Oscars. The Oscars just happened, and I'm gonna pull up the list of the winners so we can discuss these. I don't think I've been this excited about awards season as 2025 award season. I've been so excited for seeing a new award show pop up and then checking out the red carpet and checking out the winners and performances that happen as well. The Oscars, as of now, is the main award show of the whole year that I look forward to. I like the Game Awards a lot. I don't actually play that many video games, so I don't get that into the Game Awards. And honestly, a lot of the Game Awards stuff, it feels like the Game Awards is half award show, half game announcement ceremony and trailers and stuff. I still check out the Grammys. I don't listen to all the Grammy nominees like I used to though, but I still like to see who won the Grammys and stuff like that. But the Oscars are the ones that when the Oscar nominees come out, I make a list of all the ones I want to watch and I have them on my notes app and I'm checking those things off. Not every single category, but I'll watch through the best picture, best visual effects are ones that I think are really fun. I'm really into those. Best animated feature. I listen to all the best original scores as well. I get pretty into this, and looking at this list of who they chose to win, I am really satisfied with everything they've chosen. I don't know. For some reason, other award shows can sometimes, they'll choose their winners and I'm like, no, I don't agree with who should have won. But consistently, the Oscars have been something that I agree. Obviously, I'm not going to agree with everything, but I agree with a lot of the choices that they make as far as choosing their winners and nominees and stuff like that. Anora won Best Picture. I haven't seen this one. Best Animated Feature Film went to Flow, it's that animated cat movie, which I'm pretty sure was completely animated in Blender. And if that's true, that's insane. I've used Blender before, and the fact that they made a whole movie in Blender is crazy. That just shows that a small team, I think it's a small team too, I'm pretty sure. I think I kind of predicted that Flow, I haven't even seen Flow yet. I really need to see it. Once it comes out on DVD or shows up at the library, I will definitely be checking it out. I don't really rent movies that much. I know you can basically just rent anything for $4 on Amazon or YouTube. You can just rent it. I don't do that. I don't know. I feel like I don't want to rent a movie for $4 or $5 and then waste my money because I don't know if it's good. That's why I just use the library. I use the library system so much. Oh my goodness. I could do a whole video on how I use the library system like crazy. Oh my goodness. The only movies of the best animated feature that I actually have seen are Inside Out 2 and The Wild Robot. I thought it was either going to be Flow or The Wild Robot that would win because I think those two specifically were I think Wild Robot, honestly, maybe even more, was I feel like it was moving for a lot of people. So, and Flow as well. Flow was moving for a lot of people. Really, a really moving picture. A motion picture. Best international feature film went to I'm Still Here. I'm Still Here is on my watch list. I still have to watch that. Since these are new movies, some of them haven't come out. They're still in theaters, which I guess I could go see them in theaters, but the movies that I see in theaters I'm very specific about because I just don't want to be disappointed. I've never had this feeling, but I never want to have it, of when you go in a theater and you watch a movie and it's not good and you it's horrible and you want to walk out. You have to leave the theater. I never want to have that feeling. So that's why I'm really picky about what movies I see in the theater. I see maybe max 3 movies a year in the theater. because I'm just so picky about which ones. Best visual effects went to Dune Part 2, and that's exactly what I wanted. Out of all the movies I saw this year, Dune's visual effects were insane. I think I'm going to talk about this a little bit more when I do my like top 10 movies of 2024 video. There are things that happen in Dune Part 2 that they're unbelievable. Like Timothée Chalamet is riding a sandworm across the desert. That's a crazy idea. But the visual effects, because of how smart they are and like how well done the visual effects are, it's so believable. You're just sitting in the theater like, this is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Achievement in sound also went to Dune. When I watched it in the theater, the sound blew me away. Literally, I actually thought the sound was a little too loud in the theater. Like, I felt like my eardrums were gonna blast it out, and I didn't even watch it in IMAX. This was like not even IMAX, and I felt like it was a little loud. Rewatching Dune Part 2 at home, the sound was still something that was like, this movie needs an award for the sound, because the sound design is so good. Best production design went to Wicked. Another thing that I really, really wanted to win. Wicked's production design is the best of the year, especially when you look at like the behind the scenes. And like there were things in the I've talked about this before because I talk about Wicked on literally every episode of this podcast. Oh my gosh. But there are things in Wicked that I was like, oh, that's CGI. And then I watched the behind the scenes. No, the train was not CGI. That train was a real that was a real thing. It was real. It was actually built. And like things like the Wizard of Oz's big like mechanical face, I'm like, that's CGI. No, that's real and with real moving panels. I'm like, okay, yeah, hands down the best production design of the year. It's insane. It's unbelievable. Makeup and hairstyling went to The Substance. I think before looking at The Substance and stuff like that, before I had thought makeup and hair should have gone to Wicked because the hairstyling is amazing. I didn't realize that Ariana Grande was wearing a wig. It's such a good wig that I didn't even know. Like the way they styled everything, it was really, really realistic. And the fact that they painted Elphaba, her name is not Elphaba, they painted Cynthia Erivo green and it doesn't look bad. Like it actually looks so good. She doesn't look like She-Hulk. She looks like the Wicked Witch. It's crazy. It's actually a really good makeup job. So I had thought originally that Wicked should get best makeup and hairstyling, but after looking at The Substance and the prosthetic makeup that they did for that movie, hands down Substance deserved that award for best makeup and hairstyling. It's crazy good. But another award that Wicked did win was best costume design. Totally makes sense. Every single costume in Wicked is masterfully made. Like, it's not just the two leads and the main characters and all they're wearing. It's all the students, all the random people in the background when they actually go to Oz, like all the munchkins, like they all have intricate costumes. It's so well done. Anyways, those are kind of my thoughts on the Oscars this year. What have I been listening to this week? This week I have not been listening to anything interesting, so I'm not going to go over it. Actually, I don't even know if I'm going to talk about what movies I watched this week because I've been watching a bunch of stuff, but like the majority of what I've been liking, the majority of what I've been enjoying watching this week has just been Barbie movies, and I'm going to do a whole video on watching all 40 something of the Barbie movies. So I am not a reader that much unless it comes to like graphic novels and manga. So it takes me like 6 months to like finish a book that doesn't have pictures in it. We talked about what I'm listening to, which is nothing. We've talked about what I'm watching, which is literally just Barbie movies. And what I've been reading this week, every night before bed, I've been reading. This is my current book, Mossflower. This is the second book in the Redwall book series. I don't know if I'm enjoying it that much. So the last thing that I want to talk about, because I've already been I feel like I've been talking for hours. I've only been talking for 30 minutes. This is going to be a 7-minute video, but you're welcome. The last thing I'm going to talk about is editing software, because this has been something that's been such a struggle. So I got this iPad that I'm filming on right now. I originally got it because I wanted to animate. So I got an iPad and I paid $20 to get Procreate Dreams, which is like the Procreate animation version of the app, which even though I'm not animating that much anymore at all, I still use the app like every single time I make a video because I make my thumbnails in Procreate, which seems kind of weird, but it actually works really well. I've always wanted to have something to edit on, but I've never had anything to edit on. So once I got an iPad and I found out that it had iMovie, I've been making videos ever since I've had my iPad. So I've been making videos for a year now. Like editing. I've been editing for a year. But some weird glitch or bug that I noticed is like when you have all your clips cut up, the audio would like be really weird. I don't know, the audio just like wasn't working. So eventually I moved on from iMovie and did a bunch of research on what else can I use on iPad that would actually work. So I downloaded Adobe Premiere Rush, which is like the mobile version of Adobe Premiere Pro, I guess. And it fixed the audio problem, but it does crash, and sometimes the app crashes and it doesn't save my work. So the last video that I made, which was my Ghibli movies ranked video, took like so long to edit because I edited all my stuff and then it like wouldn't save, and I would have to re-edit that like again, and it was so annoying and I was getting so frustrated. So literally today, this morning, I was like, I need to find something else. And so I got one that I've heard is good, DaVinci Resolve, I think it's called, for iPad. It's like the iPad version, and I downloaded that. It keeps crashing and it's so laggy. I've had my iPad for a year. I don't think it's not my iPad's problem. Like iMovie works fine, Premiere Rush works okay, and then DaVinci Resolve I did see some other reviews saying that DaVinci Resolve does be crashing on iPad. So I don't think it's just me. Now I am back to using Premiere Rush, which is what I'm probably going to edit this video on. Anyways, that's kind of everything I wanted to talk about. Go binge all my videos, because you won't regret it. It's a fun time. New videos are coming soon, so be sure to subscribe so you do not miss out. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.